morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Est-ce que nous avons les personnes qui parlent le français ici? Now I'm seeing issues, eh? Well, my name is Francis Robert Kabuye, and I work with the Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises. Before I continue, I think we have some Muslim sisters and brothers here. Yid Mubarak. Is it the right word to say? Is it? You see, I've had issues with such kind of greetings. One day I went to, that part of Uganda called Butareja. Now, I was supposed to make a presentation. Then I whispered to a colleague who was just next, one of the nearest people to me. I wanted to know how they greet. Now, he told me something that I said when I was starting my presentation that I thought was a greeting. Little did I know that this man had made a grudge with some of the suppliers of food, and it was an insult to the other person. Do you think I ate food? It was not by design, it was not by choice, but I starved on that day. I didn't eat. So I have to be so sensitive when it comes to greetings. So my name is Francis Kabuye, and I work with the Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises. I have a presentation. John? So the small and medium, my organization is called Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises. Those of you, I believe all of you visited enterprises yesterday. And I want to thank Mastercard Foundation and all the organizers of this exercise for what happened yesterday, because yesterday we had a blend of the big enterprises and what we call the SMEs. So you had an experience of what the big or large enterprises go through and also what the small enterprises go through. And I was moving, I think, with Group A, and I want to echo what I said yesterday. We're a private organization, private-based organization. But we supplement and we support government efforts in trying to strengthen and widen the private sector, because government is also doing that. But we also support as a private organization or a private entity to ensure that we widen the private sector. And one of the things that we do is to support small and medium enterprises. First of all, to start. To start is very important, because some of you or some people out there have ideas. I want to start something. Like some of the businesses that you saw yesterday. Somebody is out there having money and they're interested in starting up a business, but they don't know which business to start up. We've had people from public service. Somebody has retired. She's maybe 65 or 60. I think now it's 60. It's 60 years, the retirement age. Somebody retires. They have the money. She has accumulated pension and whatever, but she doesn't know what to do with this money. But she has an idea. I mean, she feels she should invest this money somewhere. So we interest as FSME. We interest members and support them to start up organizations or businesses in this case. And then we also support them to grow, because it's very important. Some of those businesses that you met or that you visited yesterday have grown through our support as FSME. So my presentation is brief. It's going to be about the Federation, what we do, and also some of the opportunities. As you can see, it's a presentation on opportunities for MSMEs in Uganda and the services that we offer or that we can offer as FSME. I head the Policy and Advocacy Department in the Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises. So Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises, like I said, is a non-for-profit membership association that brings together small and medium enterprises in Uganda. We were registered as a company limited by guarantee in 2015, as you can see. Currently, we have membership across the entire country. And the last time I checked, it was about 734,000 members. And then, of course, the number keeps on increasing by the day. Every other day, we have a department which is in charge of membership. So every other day, they keep adding on more members to the database. Of course, what we do normally, our majority of our services is leveraged on the cordial working relationship with government of Uganda, like MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. We work hand in hand with the government to ensure that we deliver what our members demand or what our members need. And we also work with international organizations or the private sector players in delivering some of our deliverables. Like what we are doing today, we are partnering with Mastercard to train and also deliver knowledge to you people so that maybe tomorrow you can also become entrepreneurs. Now, somebody will ask, what is an SME? How do I identify an SME from the other large industrial or business community? I want to give you a simple breakdown on how we categorize SMEs. Now, there is what we call the MSME policy. This is under the Ministry of Trade. It is a policy that governs small or micro, small and medium enterprises. So even as we operate as FSME, we are guided by that policy because we have to be aligned to the government policies and regulations. So what is a micro business? A micro business is a business that is employing between 1 and 4 people. Of course, I don't expect a business to be operating without any person employed. Can you operate a business with 0 employees? At least you yourself, the owner, you should be counted as an employee if you're the only person operating the business. So a micro business operates with between 1 and 4 employees. And this categorization has been stipulated in the policy, MSME policy of 2015. Then when it comes to turnover, the annual turnover, a micro business should be using not more than 10. There was a mistake there. It should not be 12 million shillings. It's supposed to be 10 million shillings. So a micro, the smallest unit of a business entity, should be using not more than 10 million shillings. I don't know if there are any of you, if there's any of you who has started up a business. Is there any? So you can gauge, because now after this categorization, you should be able to determine where you fall. Whether you fall in the micro, whether you fall in the small, or in the medium. So a micro should not be using turnover exceeding 10. There was a mistake. It's not supposed to be 12. You get it? And when we talk of turnover, this is the money that keeps coming to your business. And turnover is computed annually. It's not on a monthly basis, not on a daily basis, but on an annual basis. So not exceeding 10. Then there is another category called small. That is now the middle category under the SME sector. Now, a small business should not be employing, according to the policy, the My MSME policy, it should be employing between 5 to 50 employees, including the owners. Then when it comes to turnover, it should be between 10 to 100 million shillings. Like I say, those of you who have businesses, you should be now determining where you fall. Then we have what we call the medium. Now, under the MSME sector, that is now the big league. Those who have made it. Those who have gone through a lot of issues, because SMEs have a number of issues. So now the micro is perceived to be a category of those at least who have made it and are ready to transform into the large enterprises. So a medium-sized enterprise should be employing between 50 or above 50 and 100 employees. It's not supposed to be 400. There was an error. It's supposed to be 100 or 50 and beyond. But according to the policy, it's supposed to be 50, between 50 and 100 employees. Then when it comes to turnover, it should be between 100 and 360 million shillings. So those are the ones that we call MSMEs. They are businesses operating, not so big, but in different categories. According to the recent survey, these MSMEs count for about 95% of the total enterprise population in Uganda. Some of you may think that we have a lot of big enterprises here, that the majority of the enterprises that we have are the big ones. No, you're wrong. When you go to the national database, the vast majority of the business entities that have been registered, including those that have also not been registered, because most of the SMEs are not registered. SMEs alone contribute 95% of the total population of the enterprises in the country. And when it comes to employment, they still employ the vast majority of Ugandans. Those Ugandans that are employed, most of them are employed by what? MSMEs. So when we are talking about the national economy, SMEs are very, very important and vital when we are discussing national economic issues. If you don't empower SMEs, then you're not empowering the economy. That's why later on, I'll talk about some of the opportunities. That is why government of Uganda is committed to supporting SMEs to grow. Because if you support SMEs, then you're supporting the economy to grow. And when it comes to GDP or gross domestic product contribution, SMEs contribute about 85% of our national GDP. We can continue. So what do we do as a federation? The Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises, like I said, our activities are summarized into 3 major pillars. And one of the pillars is supporting you to start. You have an idea, like I said, somebody has an idea, they have money. Some have ideas, but they don't have money. But they have an idea, they want to start up. They have a very good concept, a business concept. But they don't have what? Money. Others have money, but they don't have ideas. That is where we come in as FSME. We bring you to the table. We ask you what you have. What do you have? Do you have money? Do you have the idea? What do you have? Then we start with you from that stage. We are running what we call an SME Academy. An SME Academy is based on basically, it is supporting SMEs, those people who want to start up businesses, to get at least some support, some training on how to start and operate a business. So it's one of our latest innovations, and it's operating right now as I speak. Our offices are in Uma Showgrounds in Lugogo. So we support you to start. Then we also support you to manage. Starting is one thing, and managing is what? Is another. Yes, you can start. But are you sure your business is going to last for 1 or 2 years to come? Our interest is not seeing you collapse after 1 or even before 1 year or 2 years. Our interest is to see you surviving and becoming resilient for as many years as possible, and also growing. So we support you to start and then also to manage the business. Management is a day-to-day activity of a business. And if you're running a business and you don't dedicate time, or you don't commit yourself to the management of the business, then it is bound to collapse. So it is a personal dedication to the business. Then we also support you to grow. Besides supporting you to manage, managing alone is not enough, but we also want you to grow. Some of the businesses that you saw yesterday, we are not started at that level. Those of you who visited Seco, that bag leather company, that lady will tell you, we started with her when she was still in one room, operating in a room in Chikoni. I was in Makerere, and I believe all of you are from Makerere. You know that place called Chikoni? Most of you despise Chikoni. But Seco started where? In Chikoni. Operating in one room. If you were lucky enough to get that lady's story, she should have told you that she was operating, or they started while operating in that one room in Chikoni. Right now, with the support of the Federation, she's about to get a loan from Uganda Development Bank of up to 350 million shillings to expand her operations. She has land in Nachifuma, because I remember one of the questions, my brother there, one of the questions that you raised yesterday was about expansion. Yes, we are working with that to expand. And she has prospects of expanding. She has already procured land in Nakifuma of about 17 acres. She wants to use about 10 acres to expand Seco, that company. And we are working together with her. So this is what we do on a daily as the Federation of SMEs. We handhold you, like the way you hold a kid, a child, to stand up, to start walking, to start, So we also handhold you, because we believe SMEs are kids. They are children in this sector, in the business sector. SMEs are children. So you have to handhold an SME, take them to a financial institution, take them to URSB, where they are supposed to register, take them to URA, where they are supposed to file returns, so that at the end of the day, they are a company that can access some of these opportunities that are available. John, please. So what do we do? One of our strong deliverables as FSME is policy advocacy. Now, when we talk about policy, these are government documents or regulations that govern the management of some of these sectors. And when you talk about small and medium enterprises, like I told you, we have a policy. But also we are governed by other policies because we are doing business. SMEs are governed by a number of policies, like the tax policy. Tax is a policy. So one of our day-to-day activities is to engage government or any relevant entity on policy matters. That is just one of our engagements. We were presenting before the Parliamentary Committee on Trade, Industry, and Tourism. The gentleman in a black coat is our Executive Director, Mr. John Walugemba. I believe some of you have seen him talking about SME issues or business issues in the media. So we engage government because policy matters are not addressed on the streets. Political matters can be addressed on streets, not so? I've had people walking to work. Now, walking to work. I've seen people addressing or seeking attention for redress on a number of issues in different ways. But when it comes to policy formulation, you have to engage government. And this is what we do most as FSME. We engage government entities, we engage government, the arms of government. That is the judiciary and the executive on policy formulation. If there are taxes that are not friendly to the private sector, we come in. If we feel our members are not satisfied with the regulations and the requirements of certifying their products, we come in, we talk to government. Because policy matters are supposed to be discussed with government. So, one of our strong deliverables is policy advocacy. We talk to the relevant ministries, the Ministry of Finance, that is on matters of budget allocation, especially to the private sector development. We talk to the Ministry of Trade on matters of trade and industry and cooperatives. We talk to the Parliamentary Committee, especially on trade, when it comes to matters of advocacy on bills and whatever. So this is one of our strong arms or pillars. Then we also partner, like I said, we partner with international, both local and international organizations or institutions to deliver to make some of our activities. Of course, we don't have money as a federation. If you want to become a member of the federation, we don't subject you to any payments. You're not supposed to pay for membership fees. You're not supposed to pay for subscription fees. Registration is free of charge. But how do we manage? We very much know that there is money out there that we can tap into to support our local SMEs. So we leverage partnerships with international and local organizations or institutions to deliver to our members. If John, if you can go back slightly. This is one of our strong partners, the Netherlands Embassy. You must be aware that majority of Ugandan businesses are agro-based. And Netherlands as a country is very strong in agriculture. When you talk about the biggest agricultural economies in the world, you will not skip Netherlands. So we've partnered with Netherlands Embassy to deliver some of our products, some of our training, some of our deliverables. So we have a strong partnership with the Netherlands Embassy, and we are proud to be associated with this embassy. Because out of this collaboration, we have managed to deliver to majority of our members through trainings, capacity building, and all sorts of other BDS support. Now, besides policy, we support you to market your business. Yes, having a product is one thing, but marketing it, who is going to buy it? Yes, you will have it. Your children will consume it at home, but have you produced it for your children to consume? Or for your family to consume? You want this wider market to access and buy your product. So one of our deliverables is to support you to market. And one of the ways of marketing or strategies of marketing is by organizing or attending exhibitions. So we organize exhibitions every year for our members to showcase what they are producing. So that lady in Arua who is producing honey, very sweet honey, natural honey, can get an opportunity to showcase, to show a client in Kampala what she does. It's not so easy doing if you're doing it alone as an individual, organization, or business. So we give you this platform as FSME. So we normally organize trade exhibitions for members. That is just one of them. We have what we call the MSME week. MSME, like MSME means micro, small, and medium enterprises. So we normally have, you see, in Huma, there's always been this international trade fair. Every year. For me, when I was still in primary, I used to go to Huma without even knowing what I was going to do there. But I knew in our school program, there was always a visit to the Huma showgrounds. Now, we came to realize as FSME that whenever this international trade fair is organized, most of the exhibitors, most of the participants even come from abroad. The local entrepreneurs don't get an opportunity to showcase what they're doing. You will get companies from Netherlands, from Holland, from Kenya, from where, showcasing in Huma. But are we just interested in that? Why don't we give this opportunity to local producers? So we came up with an idea as FSME to also create what we call an SME week, where local producers, local entrepreneurs can get an opportunity also to showcase to the world what they are doing. And it has worked out well for us. We don't charge you. You bring your products, we give you a table, you show the world what you're doing free of charge. Because like I said, we believe SMEs are like children. You have to hold their hand and lead them to where opportunities are located. And this is what we do. We don't want to burden you with financial charges. Here, pay this, pay that, pay. You get it? Maybe later on when you grow into a large enterprise, you may appreciate our participation, our contribution, and maybe become a corporate enterprise or a corporate member, and you start, because for corporate members, there is some money that you're supposed to pay. But at this stage, when you're still an SME, we found it improper to charge anything. So we give members an opportunity to showcase what they're doing. Those are some of our members. We have Sankara wine. Sankara wine is one of the best wines. Those of you who visited Bella yesterday, did you have a taste of the wine? I wish I'd moved with your team. You know, I enjoy tasting wine. Yes, Sankara is one of our, we have so many, but she's just one of the other members that are also producing wine under the Federation of SMEs. Then we also have the other ladies. We have so many members, like I told you, about 700 plus. So we give them an opportunity to showcase what they're doing, and they get proud of this. And for the ladies in the house, we give priority to ladies. Let me hope the men are not listening. The men, please close your ears. Yes, because we also want to see equality, gender equality. So we give a lot of these opportunities to the women-led enterprises. And as you'll come to know, most of our products, most of our projects are looking at the women-led enterprises, supporting this woman who is struggling to establish and manage a business. Yes, still under the marketing strategy, we support businesses to get what we call visibility. How much do you think it will cost an SME or any enterprise to have a program on any television? How much do you think it costs? It's expensive. Not so? For you to get 30 minutes of any broadcast on a national TV or any of the televisions or media houses around, it costs a fortune. Now for us, we deliver to our members free of charge. How do we do it? We have signed memoranda of association with a number of media houses, televisions, both print and audio media houses. So we have an understanding with them where our members can have free visibility. Free. So the media house just tells us to please, they normally write to us, FSME, please recommend 50 SMEs that we can give an opportunity to showcase what they're doing. We have a memorandum of understanding with the Vision Group, that is New Vision and Bukede. We have one with BBS Television. We have one, this is IGTN. I don't know how many of you have seen IGTN, but it's so much into the business sector, business broadcasting. So we have signed these understandings, memoranda of understanding, with different media houses with the interest of having our members also showcasing to the entire world what they are doing. So tomorrow, if one of you becomes a member of FSME, you start up a business, be sure you're going to benefit from some of this kind of support. Free of charge. So this is a member who is exporting to that lady you're seeing being interviewed in this other photo. She's exporting to the UAE, fruits, vegetables, grains, and whatever. Those are some of the things she's exporting. Then still under marketing, we identify markets for members. When you start up a business, you will realize that one of the major challenges that small medium enterprises face is marketing. So we try as much on a daily to identify different markets for our members. And then we lead you to that market. So one of the markets that we've supported in identifying and also having our members participate into is the African Continental Free Trade Area. I don't know if you've heard about this. AFCFTA. Yes, sometime back in 2018, about 54 African leaders. Yes, about 54 African leaders met in Rwanda, Kigali, and they signed an agreement called AFCFTA. Under AFCFTA, a company, say from Uganda, will be able to trade with a company, say in West Africa, Southern Africa, Central Africa, in any part of Africa, without any taxes, or what we call tariffs. Tariff-free. This is a good opportunity for our local entrepreneurs. And we are trying as much as possible. Like I told you, 95% of the businesses here are SMEs. So we are trying as much to interest SMEs to participate in this. So this is one of the trainings that we did conducting in Kampala for the awareness trainings for the AFCFTA. That is the Minister for Trade, Honorable Mwebesa Francis. That gentleman is from UNDP. We're partnering with UNDP to deliver this. Then on On the extreme end here is Honorable Amelia Chambade, the former Minister for Trade. So, like I said, we work with government. Then the other deliverable is training. We train you. As a business, as a small business, we train you on how to manage your business, how to push it forward, how to grow it. So this is just one of the trainings that we're doing with local entrepreneurs on harnessing digital platforms for business transactions. You know, during COVID, some of us were not able to move from our homes. You remember? Me, I remember during COVID, when I was at home, I was always waiting for that old man to come and say something. You remember that time? And whenever he came on TV, I was waiting for that part. Therefore, 21 more days. Then I say, now, Chiwede, I'm finished. So, during COVID, the notion of doing or transacting businesses digitally started getting attention, especially by SMEs. So we came up with a campaign with Uganda Communications Commission, where we started training SMEs, especially in the rural areas, on how to use the digital innovations to transact without having to, because when you transact digitally, you save on a number of costs. You don't have to move, you don't have to call, you don't have to do ABCD. You just do it from the comfort of your home. So this is just one of the trainings that we've been handling with some of the SMEs in the rural areas in northern Uganda. You can see, yes, let's move. Yes, you saw some of them, of course, now starting to appreciate that a phone can do wonders for you. Besides using it for TikTok, besides using it to abuse, some people use it to abuse. So you can also use the phone to earn some money as a business. So the other thing is on-site business coaching. Besides, when you become our member, we have a team of technical people who keep visiting our members, trying to see whether you are applying the best practices of production. So I'm one of that team, but we're a very big team. We keep moving to different locations where our members are located, to their different premises, seeing what they do, and also giving them advice on how best to do it. Sometimes we hire consultants, sometimes we get experts, but this is one of the deliverables that we do for our members as a federation. This is a member who is dealing in coffee. This is Paradise. Bugisu is from Bugisu area, Mbale side. Bugisu Paradise Coffee. They produce wonderful coffee. It has a very good aroma, and it is produced for export. It has a very big market. Yes, we can continue. Yeah, these are some of the activities. We can skip that. Yeah, all those are trainings. We make a lot of trainings in different fields and sectors. So we can go back a bit. Like I said, we work with government entities. We've partnered with Uganda Investment Authority, and we've also signed an MOU. That photo, the next photo should be reflecting the signing of the MOU between Uganda Investment Authority and the Federation of SMEs. Now, government came up with a proposal that in each and every industrial park, 20% of industrial park land should be allocated to SMEs. And as a federation, of course, we welcomed this, this decision, this suggestion. So we went into agreement with the Uganda Investment Authority. And as a federation, if you want to start a business and you feel you seriously want to start, not as a mediocre. Some of you want to start for 2-3 days and then you give up. But if you seriously want to start a business and you need land, we shall handhold you, take you to UIA, Uganda Investment Authority, and you'll access this land. It is there waiting for you. 20% of industrial park land is supposed to be used by SMEs. But if you don't take this opportunity, if you don't pick up this opportunity, other people, other large organizations or enterprises will come up and take it up. You get what I'm saying? So, as we are training you into becoming entrepreneurs, you should also get to know of this opportunity that is waiting for you. And we have about more than 25 industrial parks now in the country, located in different parts of the country. So if you want to start up if you want to start up a business, and you need land, then we can also lead you to UIA, support you to get this land. So we do a number of activities as FSME. We have been into the refugee space. This is one of our latest moves, because Uganda is one of the biggest or the largest refugee hosting community in the whole world. And we are proud of that. Aren't you people proud of that? You see, when we talk of refugees, people think so, they feel so much detached. Let me tell you, everyone here is a potential refugee. Are you aware of that? Yes, anytime from now. God forbid. But anyone here is a potential what? I'll give you a story of what is happening in Southern Sudan. So not Southern Sudan, but in Sudan, in Khartoum. They didn't know that a war was coming up. Now some of them have started seeking asylum in the neighboring countries. Did they know that they were going to be refugees the day before? So we are proud as a country that Uganda is hosting refugees and giving them better space or conducive space for their livelihoods. So as a federation, we also tap into the refugee space. Because if you don't support a refugee, then this person will turn against. There will be negative effects of having this refugee on the local or the hosting community. So we empower. We work with organizations like ILO, International Labour Organization, to support refugee-led businesses. You get it? So, can move. The last. That was a delegation from Malawi that was benchmarking on how to strengthen the Malawian SME sector. They had visited our offices, led by the Minister of Trade in Malawi. Then the next slide, those are some of the partnerships that we've had as a federation, and we are proud to be, of course, they keep increasing by the day, but we are proud to work with UNDP and the awareness and capacity building of SMEs about the African Continent of Free Trade Area. We are also proud to be working with the Uganda Communications Commission under the digital literacy trainings of small and medium enterprises, like I told you. And we are also happy and proud to be working with ILO, International Labour Organization, under their prospects training and business management for SMEs. That is also partly dealing with the refugee community. We are also working with PSFU, training of welders and plumbers, and also right now we are that partnership is still ongoing. Then we're also working with Post Bank under the financial literacy and value addition training for women-led agribusinesses in Lira, Arua, Mbarara, and Kampala. We're also working with Afri-Exim Bank. Afri-Exim Bank is a continental bank. It is majorly looking at imports and exports. Actually, it stands for Africa Export and Import Bank. So if there's anybody who is willing to transact across the continent, we have some good products from Afri-Exim Bank that can support you to manage your business, your export business, export and import business. Then we're also working with the Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands on a number of issues. Right now, we are working with them on what we call the weeds product. Weeds. It is focusing on women who are into agribusiness. If you have a business as a woman and you want some support from Netherlands, from that embassy, we'll be glad to pick you up and put you under this arrangement. Then also working under the policy advocacy, we are working with Siatini, Tax Justice Alliance, CS BAG, and a number. Of course, we could not list all of them here, and a number of other organizations to front our advocacy voices together. And like I said, membership is free of charge for MSMEs apart from corporate members. If you're a corporate member, like we have some of, under our membership database, we have the SMEs, but also we have the corporate members. Now, who is a corporate member? We've had organizations or businesses like, say, telecom companies, banking institutions, insurance companies, those large enterprises that are not necessarily, that don't fall under the SME sector, but they are willing to be part, basing on their different reasons. So we bring them into our database, but those ones pay because they are big. They are big, they have earned it. So we request them to pay something to continue being our members. And what do you benefit? What are the opportunities of being an SME? You see, like you visited yesterday, you saw the distinction between the large companies and the SMEs. And I was glad to share, to listen to some of the experiences that some of you shared from your visits yesterday. Now, as an SME, you have the following opportunities. I will just highlight a few, but we have so many as SMEs. One is financing, because government is aware that SMEs struggle even to start. The large companies may not really struggle because they have they have already amassed some wealth, they have some money, so they have capital to start. SME, you'll find one with an idea, like I said, but without money to start. So there's available financing for startups, for continuing businesses, and this has been championed by government. Government came up with a number of products, financial products, that are aimed at supporting SMEs to start and also grow. Currently, we have what we call the Recovery Fund, Small Business Recovery Fund. But now this is for businesses that existed before COVID. Those that actually were affected by COVID. Because we believe most of the businesses were affected during COVID. Some have not even they have not come back to life. They have collapsed completely. So government put aside some money, about 200 billion shillings, to support, under this Small Business Recovery Fund, to support those businesses that were existing with COVID, but their operations were affected because of COVID. And SMEs are accessing this money. As a federation, we are part of this initiative. We talk to government, because whenever the president, you remember that time when he used to come to televisions to address the nation, He was talking of money in UDC, money in Uganda Development Bank, but SMEs cannot reach to UDC. Very few SMEs can go to Uganda Development Corporation or Uganda Development Bank. So we had a meeting with Ministry of Finance and requested that they also put aside some money to recover the SMEs that were affected by COVID. And we are glad that government listened to our pleas, and 200 billion shillings was allocated. It's lying in commercial banks, waiting for SMEs to go apply for it, use it, and they are only charging 10%. The normal interest rate in most of these banking institutions is 20% and beyond. But for this recovery fund, the maximum should be 10%. And for a long period of time. So SMEs are enjoying this. Then the other opportunity, so this is funding for your business as an SME. I'm trying to give you the opportunities that you can enjoy if you're operating an SME. And this money is strictly for SMEs. Then the other opportunity, as you must have noticed yesterday, SMEs, of course, don't employ as many people as the large companies. You find somebody is in charge of accounting, the same person is in charge of branding, the same person is again in charge of marketing. So you have one person or an employee who is multitasked. And in the business world, we try as much as possible to support people to become multitasked. And this is what is happening in SMEs. So if somebody is employed by an SME, or even you, the owner of the business, if you start up an SME, you'll end up becoming a jack of all trades. You know how to market, you know how to account, because you don't have enough resources to hire people to handle all these different activities. So you're doing it alone, or you're leveraging on the small workforce available to handle the business activities. So for me, I find this as an opportunity for both the employer and the employee. How does the employee benefit? If, say, you got employed by an SME and you're supposed to be handling like 5 different activities. You're handling accounts, then you're the same person handling production, you're the same person handling, your skills base, your experience in managing a business or in working in a business environment is very wide. It is expanded. Unlike in these big businesses, in a large enterprise, you'll find somebody is strictly supposed to work on this machine. So they don't know about the other machines. If, say, the person operating the other machine is not around or has missed work on a certain day, it will be a disaster. But in an SME, you find people are multitasked. That is an opportunity. Then we have a number of business development support providers. BDS. Like I said, any business, especially the small businesses, they need what we call business development support. SMEs. This is what they go through time and again. You saw that lady in Bella, the Bella wine lady, Madame Prudence. She will never miss any training. However small, however big, she will always show presence. Do you know why she does it? Why she does that? Because she knows from this training, I can get something small to add on to what I'm already doing. So there are a number of opportunities for SMEs to access business development services and support, like trainings, skills training, capacity building trainings. Unlike the big ones, I've not heard of any enterprise or organization that is interested in building capacity of the big enterprises, they are all focusing on what? So if you started up an SME today, you would be sure of this free, and for us we call it free because we, according to the federation, we give this free of charge. So you would be accessing this free of charge. Then there's also local market. Because if you're producing at a small scale as an SME, of course you're not producing for the entire district. You don't have enough capacity to produce for the entire district or for the entire region or for the entire country. Now this networking, SMEs leverage the local networking. If you talk to SME or entrepreneurs who are managing SMEs, they will tell you they use word of mouth to market. A big company like Steel and Tube or these other companies will not use word of mouth. But an SME can afford to move from house to house in their local community to market what they're doing and then get it promoted and get some people buying the products. Then also when it comes to issues like certification of your products, as a federation, we've been talking with Uganda National Bureau of Standards, because that is the bureau that is supposed to regulate the standards of the products, so that they suit the requirements or the required standards. So we advocated for some compromise, financial compromise, of course, not compromise in terms of standards, but financially for SMEs. And I believe SMEs are now treated differently. If you have a product and you identify yourself as an SME, will handle you differently from the way they handle the big companies. So basically, we have a number of opportunities. If you started up as an SME, because we treat you like, including government, they treat you as a kid, as a child who is just trying to start moving. So they will handhold you, and we also handhold you to access some of the opportunities that are available. But also, before I leave, I know most of you, because much as majority of us are focusing on the white collar jobs, I believe majority of us here, majority of you are looking at getting employed by these corporate companies. Not so. You're looking at yourself being employed by MTN, by Airtel, by government. But before you know, you'll get to realize that if eventually you get employed by these companies or institutions, you'll get to realize that you'll have wasted a lot of time working for them. That is the truth, the naked truth. Working under these institutions will not make you a bourgeoisie. You know what we call the bourgeoisies? The people we talk about in Kampala, those rich people, none of them is being employed by any of these companies. Majority, if not all of them, are operating as private businesses or entrepreneurs in this case. So we also want to interest you to pick the interest in becoming private entrepreneurs. Yes, some of you may get employed by those corporations and institutions, but as a person, this will not grow you. It will not take you a long journey towards prosperity. But if you started a business, however small, and you stick to your idea, there are chances, very high chances, that this business will grow and become a large enterprise or a company, a big company tomorrow. And this is how most of these people have done it. When you listen to the story from Bella Wine, you listen to the story from the lady of Crystal Ice, that lady has been supplying. I used to buy when I was still in Makerere and we were organizing bazaar. You know that bazaar? We used to have in the bazaar, people used to buy beer, soda and what. And we're always selling people to go and buy ice. From Luzira, you go to Luzira and get ice. That lady has been around selling that ice for cooling beer, cooling drinks and whatever. I didn't know she just told me a few months ago that she's the one who was always supplying. So you can start small, you start. The advantage is that you have the capacity to determine how big you can grow, depending on how much dedication or time and efforts and whatever that you dedicate to your business. So I want to bring your attention to the private sector, starting up businesses. You don't need a lot. If you had an opportunity to share with some of these entrepreneurs, they didn't start big. You need something small to start up and then grow your business in a large company. Of course, later on, during the presentations, we shall be giving you some of the tips of starting and also managing a business. Yes, it's a discipline. Managing a business is a discipline. That is why some have failed and some have what? Yes, it is a discipline that you have to put within your day-to-day whatever activities. People don't know how to make, when they make losses. Like we've had experiences with some of the SMEs. Somebody can't even determine when she has made a loss and when she has made a profit. Can we do a small teaser on making a profit or a loss? And we see how some of you can react to that. Can we? Okay. Just like 5 minutes, John.
I think we'll have that after the break. Yes. So I would release you for the break. Have your cup of tea.